right, everybody. So let's deal with implementing EtherChannel. So we need to build a network. We're going to be also using EtherChannel in two different ways, LACP and PAC-P. So we need to go ahead and select the switches that we'll be working with, which are the 2960 series. So we're gonna go and select the switches, and we need 3 of these. 1, 2, and 3. Then we need to make the connection according to the instructions. We're gonna use straight through cable. Actually, straight through cable. And so, okay, before we do that, we need to change the names. So let me do that right now. We're going to put A up here. We're gonna put B down here and C down here. All right, so between A and B, we'll be using gigabit 1 and 2. 1 and gigabit 2. Between B and C, we're going to use Fast Ethernet 23 and 24. And then 24. Between A and C, we'll be using Fast Ethernet 21 and 22. With 22. Okay, so it looks like we had that taken care of. Now the next thing that we need to do is to rename our switches as well. So beginning with switch A, we're gonna change that name, and gonna do the same thing over here. Host name, host name, switch B, and switch C. Change that. Perfect. Okay, now we have that taken care of. Now we're ready to jump into configuration. So configure EtherChannel on each switch. Configure the ports that will be used in the port channels as static trunks. Okay, configure PAC-P EtherChannel. Follow the procedure that was used in previous activities to configure port channel 1 as PAC-P EtherChannel between SWA and SWB. Both sides should negotiate the EtherChannel. All right, so let's go to between A and B. All right, so let's create the EtherChannel. In order to do that, and we're gonna be using the channel 1. So to do that, we're gonna go and select the interfaces that we're gonna bundle together to form that EtherChannel, which are between A and B, gigabit 1 and gigabit 2. So interfaces gigabit/1 and 2, but I forgot to put the range. All right, that's good. Now we're gonna create a channel. We're gonna create the ports bundle. and we're gonna use group 1, and it's a pack P that needs to negotiate on both sides. In order to do that, we're going to select desirable mode, desirable. All right, it's a good deal there. Now, we need to put those ports into trunking mode as well. So, but now, instead of going to the physical interface, I'm going to go to the EtherChannel interface or the port channel interface. So, to do that, we're going to exit, okay, and interface port channel 1, switch mode, trunk. Okay, switch port, non-negotiate. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Interface, range, gigabit 0/1 and 2. Okay. Trunk and switch port, trunk, non-negotiate. Okay, so we had that taken care of. So this side right here is completed, between A and B is completed. Now let's configure LACP Ether channel. Now to configure port channel 2 as an LACP channel between SWA and C, both sides should negotiate Ether channel. Alright, so A and C. We're going to A, get out of this interface, and apply the range of fast Ethernet 21 and 22. Now this is LACP and we want both sides to negotiate. So each side needs to be configured as active for LACP, not desirable. Desirable is only for PAG P. LACP utilize active. Okay. Now exit out of here. Interface. Port channel 2. Oh, trunk. Push port. Non-negotiate. Okay. So we don't have any VLANs or none like that. So this is the only change that we need to apply in the interface port channel. If there were other type of VLANs there, we need to make sure that every single configuration on every single between any single Ether channel links needs to be exact the same. It has to be a complete match, and that means speeds, port modes, VLANs, allowed VLANs, all of that configuration, they need to match exactly. But the assumption here is that You guys already know that, so we only applying configurations. So now that we have this in between A and C on the A side, now we have to jump over to the C side and do the exact same thing. So interface range, '22. To mode active to be also negotiate on negotiation mode. All right. Now exit. We're gonna go to the interface for the EtherChannel, and the way we get there is by going to port channel 2. Then do trunk in there and non-negotiate. Good, perfect. Okay, so this side between A and C has been already configured. I believe we're done there. Now we have to go to the final step, which is configuring a backup LACP Ether channel. But this time, switch C is the one initiating negotiation with B, and B should not initiate negotiation. Alright, so C is the one that's gonna be negotiating. Alright, so let's go into that configuration. So let me get out of this interface and create the bundle first. Interface range 23 and 24. Pass Ethernet 0/23 and 24. Okay. Channel group 3. Mode. So switch C is going to use LACP and is going to be negotiating. So it's going to be active. Going to exit out of here. And going to the interface for channel 3. Switch port mode trunk. And switch port non-negotiate. Okay. And then we go to switch B and do the same thing. But in this case, it's not going to. In this case, it's not going to be negotiating. So we need to go and interface range, fast Ethernet 23 and 24. Channel group 3. Mode passive because it's not going to be negotiating. Okay. Then we get out of this and we go to the EtherChannel port. Interface for channel 3. Switch port mode trunk and switch port non-negotiate. And now we have completed our EtherChannel configuration. Now it should be all done here. So that's how you create different instances of EtherChannel. So this was a quick exercise where we were demonstrating how to go about the configuration for both LACP and PACP. So PACP, as we mentioned, it uses different statements for the configuration, and LACP also use different statements. So LACP will be using active, passive, whereas PACP will be using desirable and auto if we want to have one side negotiating but not the other. All right. So we have a message here. Let's see what it says. Okay, so interface port channel 3, change the stop. Okay, and protocol interface port channel, change the up. Now spanning 3, receive error. UPDU on non-shown port channel. We are one port type. Okay, so let me go ahead and see if I can shut down and then a not shutdown. See what type of activity we get here. Same thing over here. Let's shut down that. Actually, no. Shut down and then not shut down. Okay, so now we have spanning 3 behaving as it should, only blocking 1 instead of 2 sections. Now we're only blocking 1 section. To speed up that process, I just went into the interfaces and shut them down and then bring them back up. But eventually, spanning 3 will make the necessary changes, because in this case, if we were to have, and again, we already went through the process of how to select the root bridge, and we're not gonna go into those details in this video, but another way to make sure the spanning tree take correct action is to shut down the interfaces. And I should mention that for best practices, in order to avoid this error right here, which is common error, in order to avoid this error, best practice to shut down the interfaces before you configure EtherChannel. Well, in this case, well, for the sake of timing, I just went over and did that while the interfaces were live. But best practices in a production environment, I will suggest, or in the real world with the real equipment, I will suggest that you go ahead and just shut down the interfaces prior to you configuring EtherChannel, so you can avoid this error. And that's it for this video. I see you on the next, where we're going to be taking a look at issues with EtherChannel and how to troubleshoot them.